E longo whaatutuila pe awe. The concept of fofola le fala, or roll out the mat, is to create safe spaces, to unpack, to talanoa, to have meaningful conversations that are respectful and affirming. So, let's talk. Let's talanoa. Tulo, tulo, tulo lava. Tulo to the indigenous owners of this land. The Yavusana Vatulevu of Narewa, the Kina Makawa of Nandi, Yasana Kumba. Tulo, honorable dignitaries, panel of judges, Taufai Namatangi, Miss Pacific Islands. Tulo, my sisters of the crown, and to our Pacifica joining us online, now, and into the future. Talofa lava. I humbly sit before you with pride as a daughter of our resilient Pacific family, committed to protecting our dignity, our sacred connections in digital spaces. Bullying, both physical and digital, an issue that continues to cripple our communities today. Growing up, my parents, who are sat here today, taught me, speak with respect, know your place, maintain honorable interactions, do no harm with your words or your actions. Why? Because of a known Samoan philosophy and way of being called leva. Leva tapuia. It's the sacred relational space that governs all our interactions with one another, regardless of age, gender, or status. So when you strike someone with your fists, when you wound someone with hateful words, when you shame someone online before the world, the va is broken and the relational space is shattered. In Fiji, 61% of cyberbullying victims are women, commonly on platforms like Facebook and TikTok. In Papua New Guinea, youth cyberbullying is described as alarming, especially against young women. Studies show more than half of Pacific high school students have experienced cyberbullying within a year, often leading to shame, anxiety, and loss of confidence. In our small island communities, the same child can be bullied at school, on the bus, in the village, and then again on their phone at night. Technology facilitated gender-based violence, TFGBV, is rising in our Pacific, which includes online harassment, image-based abuse, and digital stalking. Global evidence tells us something even more serious. Children who are bullied are at significantly higher risk of depression, anxiety, self-harm, and suicidal thoughts. Why should we care? Because we are Pacifica. In our culture, identity is communal. An attack on one is an attack on all. For our girls and young women especially, cyberbullying is often part of a wider pattern of gender-based violence. It silences them, it pushes them away from leadership, it makes them afraid to use their voice. With that reality, what can we do about it? We restore the VAR offline and online. We must modernize our laws to address technology-facilitated gender-based violence, criminalize technology-facilitated abuse, establish effective reporting pathways, and ensure survivor-centered support systems. This is a talanoa. This is more than just about safety. It's about restoring dignity and reorienting how we communicate in all spaces. It's about recognizing that digital spaces are not separate from who we are culturally. If we uphold, respect, in person based on our va, then our digital spaces must also reflect those same values. We must empower youth to be protectors, not perpetrators. So continue to fofola le fala, continue to talanoa, continue with alofa, loloma, and mafana. Restoring dignity, that to me is transformational. Whaapetai lava, mbinaka wakalelo.
Now, how can we address cyberbullying while still encouraging positive online engagement? That's my question to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very important question. Emil Durkheim has a theory called the functionalism theory. And in this theory, he likens society to a living organism. And how he does that is he compares all elements of society, all industries and all units to the same way that your organs within your body functions all together for you to survive. How we as a society can protect against cyberbullying while still maintaining positive online engagement will take a collective effort whereby all units, very much like how Emil Durkheim explains his functionalism theory, all units as in the family unit, the government and the schools, in showcasing what digital dignity means for when it comes to positive communication. One of our visits in the past week, actually, now that I remember off the top of my head, Litara, Miss Pacific Islands, shared a quick little quote that I feel is very relevant in this exact moment. And the quote is, "The internet is not exempt from cultural protocols." And how I see that is our digital spaces should reflect the same values that we uphold within our communities and within our families and within our villages and within our churches. And so if we honor sacred relational spaces, as we have seen today in our village, we must also honor those relational spaces on digital platforms. If we practice alofa, loloma, mafana, as I have shared earlier with you today, in our churches and our communities, we must also be able to reflect that in our communications and in our connections via social media platforms. And so in answering your question, for me, it's about going back to our roots and understanding the values that have guided our people for many generations. And safety and digital dignity for me starts from the cultural values of alofa, of love, of loloma, and respect. And if we are grounded and anchored in those values, then we can still maintain positive online engagement while respecting those values.
Share with us in your own words what you feel about bullying so that everybody that is listening to Miss Pacific sound this off.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that question. I believe I have expressed how I feel about bullying in the sense that it affects many of our people, regardless of the generations, regardless of age, regardless of gender, regardless of sex. But as I have shared with you, bullying disproportionately affects and impacts women. And given this platform that we are on, how I feel and a message that I want to put through, given the platform that we've been given to speak about this issue, a Samoan proverb that comes to mind for me is this, and I will share the translation with you, do not worry. Amalu ifale, emalu ifafo. And what this means in English is that when our children and our young people are nurtured and safeguarded within the home, within the family and by the parents and the loved ones that surrounds them, then they are better equipped to face the challenges of life. And so how I perceive bullying in this case, given the question and given the platform that we are on, and having carried the weight and the responsibility of being Miss Samoa, I want to encourage our parents and our families, protect our children, protect our young people. Yes, these issues, very much like many other issues like drug abuse and all the other issues that are facing our young people, they can be protected starting from within the family. So again, I want to reiterate this. For when your children, our young people are protected within the home, then they will be protected elsewhere, regardless of the challenges that may come their way.